So let's add two for one. Um, Today I'm gonna go more in depth into communism, and I say first of all, communism is nationalism. um, Matter of fact, I probably can't name one country that's communist or socialist that ain't nationalist. I mean, Venezuela, they're a socialist country. They only care about their own country. Cuba, a communist country. They only care about their country. They don't want nobody else to come in their country. They're not pro-immigration. You know, they don't want people leaving. They have time don't want even people coming. North Korea, also a socialist country, nationalist country. All they care about is their country. They don't like no immigrants. Immigrants means people say, well, people go to Cuba all the time. No, they don't go to stay. Immigrant means you immigrate from another country and you live in that you go to that country to stay. No, when you go to North Korea, you're not going to stay. You're not allowed to stay. You can go on tours, you can vacation, but that's it. You're not going to stay. Japan, also a nationalist country. Even though, people tour Japan, sometimes people live in Japan, but most of the time, people don't really stay. And even if they do, Japan is still like 99% Japanese. So they're like totally, nationalists. Um, Africans, well, if Africans had more control of their country, yeah, they would be nationalists because um, they, they complain all about how Europeans keep coming in and taking the stuff. But if they were actually a true nationalist country, matter of fact, they are a nationalist country. Definitely now they're killing white people and trying to kick them out. So yeah, Africa is trying to be nationalist too. See, most, I would say, European countries, Western countries, are not really nationalists. They let in immigrants all day. So when people say to Trump, you're a nationalist, you're a white nationalist, like most countries they're talking about when the communists be speaking, most of the communist countries they talk about are nationalist countries. Like China is a nationalist country. All they care about is China. Japan is a nationalist country. Germany, a lot of these places are nationalist countries. All they care about is their country. I would say all the non-white countries, those are the ones who are the true nationalists. The Asians, the Arabs, the Indians. They're the truly national. All they do is care about their country. They don't like no immigrants. Matter of fact, those countries like China, Japan, India, those are like the most racist countries. They definitely don't like no immigrants. They definitely don't like no Muslims up in there, no Arabs up in there. They don't trust nobody. So yeah, when you look at these communist countries, yeah, all of them are nationalists. Cuba, Venezuela, Mexico. Hopefully Mexico, and Mexico wouldn't suck so much. It would be nationalist. And matter of fact, the country would be better if it was. But not if it's okay to be nationalist, but not communist. But most of the communists are nationalists. So I would say leave out communism and have nationalism, and you will be all right. All right, let's talk about some stuff that a lot of people say on the left. They be saying some dumb stuff. Somebody brought it up one time. He was saying how if gender is a social construct, then how do you have a gender pay gap? I was like, oh snap. I was like, when they be saying stuff, it's like the funny thing is the people who be speaking for the left is women and feminized men. And if you know anything about women, they say some emotional stuff that's not actually true. And because people don't take women seriously, and then women don't take them seriously either, they say the most ignorant, dumb stuff, and nobody calls them out on it. So they say some stuff, and it don't even make any sense. Because who came up with this gender pay gap? Women did. It's not even true. And then who also came up with the gender, saying that gender is a social contract? Women again. So how do you have a social construct? You saying that we made up genders? If we made up genders, there's no such thing as women. Then there's no gender pay gap. I mean, because women don't exist. We just made it up. So actually, not women are not being paid less than men because there's no such thing as women and men. If there's no such thing as gender, there's no such thing as women and men. So how can they be paid differently? They're actually being paid the same because we're both the same. Anyway, it's so dumb. All right, here's another thing that doesn't make any sense. All right, I probably talked about it before, but you're trying to start a socialist communist country. In socialist communist countries, everyone is equal. Women are men. So how are you gonna have a gender pay gap when women or men are the same? Under socialist communism, everybody's equal. So there's no such thing as a gender pay gap. Matter of fact, the pay is dictated by the communist government. So there will be no pay gap because everybody is paid based on the work that they do. So there's no unfairness. So there's no gender pay gap. Now, how are you gonna? Do you really think in your communist socialist country where the government controls everything that you're gonna be able to cry to the government when there's a pay gap? See, this is how privileged and great America is. That you can actually complain about this. Do you think that women in North Korea can complain about a pay gap? Man, they get their head chopped off. In fact, they do. Man, they get their head chopped off just because they looked at a movie from South Korea. Do you imagine what's going to happen when you complain about the pay gap? But anyway, you can't. But anyway, so this whole stuff is dumb, man. And like I said, the okay, when it's when you go to a protest and you take somebody's mask off and they say you can't take that, that's my property. In communism and socialism, everything that's produced by the workers is owned by the people. So if I take your mask, I didn't actually take your mask. I actually took my mask because the mask was produced by the communist government. So if we produced it, then we both can have it. So when I take your mask off, I didn't take your mask. It's also my mask. So that's how I know these people who are communists, they don't know what it is. Or either they don't know what it is or they do. And they don't think it's actually going to happen. Because most of the time, I would say some of these guys are homeless guys. These are probably crackheads. Some people like this. They probably do want socialism, but they don't know how bad it is. And then you got some of the rich kids that promote it. We say champagne socialists. They promote it because they don't think it's actually going to happen. If it does happen, it's not going to affect them anyway. But it's stupid. You can't have a free hospital if the hospital costs money to make. You think your doctors are going there and getting paid in shekels? I mean, they're going to have to get paid. Anyway, so when every time a protester says, like, if you took something from them and they say, that was mine, you can't take it, just say, in socialism, everything belongs to us. The communist system is the community. So everybody in the communist socialist system is part of the production. So everything that the workers, because they say everything that the workers produce belongs to the workers because they produced it. So if you take their mask, they can't say this is mine, because if the workers produce the mask, then it belongs to the people. So actually, you can take their mask in communism because everything that we produce belongs to the people. So when they say, "Hey, that was my mask," no, actually, it's not. It's our mask. It's like you take their flag. No, it's our flag because we belong to a community. That's what communism is. Everything that we are, everything that we produce, belongs to the community, belongs to us. So actually, I can't take your mask, I can't take your flag, because it also belongs to me. But anyway, leftists be saying some dumb stuff. I don't know if they're, self-aware or They don't even know what communism is. I don't even know. They be saying some dumb stuff. But I thought I'd bring that up because you know, most of the time it's women that say the dumbest stuff. But nobody cares because they're women. Which I don't. You know what? I don't even care that much. I just laugh at it and analyze it, and it's makes good conversation. It's good to laugh at it because um, the good thing is they don't run nothing. I think women should be running things that they should run, like social things, like nursing and medical, like social things, child care, stuff like that. Stuff they actually want to do. So this like pitting women in leadership roles, I don't think that's gonna be a good idea. Like we're already seeing it ain't. So I think women should focus on their strengths, which is emotions and taking care of children, and just do that. And men should focus on being leaders and being masculine. Because masculine is great, being feminine is great. Focus on them things, and we'll be all right. Focus on things that you don't need to focus on, yeah, it ain't gonna end out well. So anyway, so anytime somebody says, "Hey, you took my mask," no, in communism, I can take your mask because it belongs to both of us. But anyway, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and click that PayPal. I guess. I mean, you can support me if you want. It's all good. Anyway, peace out.